Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friendship Friday with your favorite bestie, Giovanni G. And I'm here for you today to teach you about preparing for emergency management of a natural disaster as a caregiver, right? So I first want to say my heart and prayers goes out to all of those that are affected by the storms that have been affecting us lately, back-to-back hurricanes in the Georgia area and etc and the tropical depressions that's out brewing in the Gulf now. I just want to send my prayers and my heart out to you. I hope that you are well and you have a recovery soon and all the aid gets to you. With all the storms hitting landfall within the last few weeks, it created this need to share things that can help a caregiver in a natural disaster, right? A few weeks ago, while at my kid's birthday dinner, I met a man named John. And John sat there and he talked to me about how his elderly's mother home caught on fire 2 days after his father's funeral. Everyone was in the home, everyone was sleeping, the alarms went off. He showed me the pictures, and it was just a horrific sight to see. The house had burnt down all the way down to the foundation. They already was dealing with grieving of the father and her husband, and now they had everything lost. All the important paperwork was gone, the insurance information, everything was gone. And so thinking about that, it was just like, wow, that's so unfortunate that happened to you. And we just discussed over dinner. It was a really good dinner, but it kind of gave me like this need to create and birth this episode. By the grace of God, everyone got out the house. No one was injured, but like I said, everything was lost. And so, John, if you're watching, because I gave him all my information, if you're watching, thank you so much for birthing this episode because it just made me think of what if you're not prepared? What if you actually are a caregiver and you're going through this, right? Also, before I get into the nooks and crannies of it, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It is free. I would love to hear from you. I take time at the end and always engage with my people. So if you have any questions or if something that you want to learn or talk about, please drop it in the chat. Okay. Okay. So go right back into it. So, right before meeting him, a Hurricane Helene was headed straight for Atlanta. And although my degree is in emergency management, I was kind of prepared for if it was to hit my family and affect my family directly. But meeting John made me think about about the families that are not prepared. They have no clue or idea to be ready. Yes, we know hurricanes come with global warming, whether you believe it or not. These storms are getting more severe and they are hitting harder and they are coming back to back. So we have to prepare whether we believe in it or not, right? And so that's how this episode was birthed. When it comes to natural disasters, most of us already know the drill. We're going to stock up on water, we're going to stock up on candles and batteries. We're going to grab a manual can opener. We're going to get some non perishable items and paper essentials. All the toilet paper gonna be gone, right? Miles and miles away, toilet paper is gonna be gone. We're gonna gas up the car. We're gonna do the drill like we normally do. But there are some additional things that you may need in the event of you being a caregiver, right? And so we're gonna get into that. I would suggest that you email a list of all the medications that your loved one is taking, right? Email that list as well as the times that they take it and their dosage. And if you can get your hands on extra medication, if it's allowed through your insurance, make sure you get that, right? In the event of a storm or a quick evacuation, having the medications listed in your email, the cloud, on your phone, where you can see, will assist you when you have to go to a pharmacy. And I know you're saying, well, the pharmacy has it on file already. Okay, that is true. But what if you have to leave your city? What if your pharmacy is hit by a tornado or the hurricane itself or flooding? Then you got a whole nother set of problems. Yes, systems are backed up, but it's always to have a backup to the backup, right? And just by having your medications in a list, it will reduce the stress of trying to figure out what your person is supposed to have. Right now, my mother currently is on 11 medications. And so it just makes sense for me to have a list. I have an actual picture of it, and that will kind of help you be prepared in case something goes left. And you also need that anyway when you go to the doctors, a new doctor, a new specialist. They're going to ask you what they need anyway. So if you have pictures of the printout of your medications, you can easily go through the list for the doctor. Okay. Also, have a pre-packed bag to go. It's a must, right? So it's just like when you're having a baby. I don't know how many parents is on here or you've seen on TV in the movies. They have the pre-packed bag that's ready to go. And you grab it in the event of the water breaking and you head off into the hospital. And it has everything packed in this bag that you would need. It has baby items, it has your personal items, your personal soaps and etc. That's the same thing you're going to do for an event of a natural disaster. So you can go and grab you a waterproof bag, duffel bag from my favorite place. Y'all already know my favorite place, Amazon. Get it in 2 days on Prime and get this waterproof bag. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to have enough space to do all the things that you need, to have all the things that you need. Some of the essentials you should have in this particular bag is extra medication if you can get your hands on some, Depends or disposable underwear. I just say Depends because that's the brand we use. A few items of clothing, a few pairs of socks, a pair of shoes, pajamas, essentials for medications such as diabetes, the lancets, alcohol pads, extra glucose, um, reading meter, as well as the actual strips to check the actual glucose. Having it stored at an easy, quick to grab place. If there's warnings that your area is going to be affected by flooding, you will want to take this bag and put it in a higher place, like on the top shelf, in the event that you can't get a waterproof bag. But you want this all these items that are pre-packed to stay dry. These things does nothing for you if they're soaking wet. So make sure that they're in a easy to grab place. You know where it is. And if you don't have waterproof, make sure it's on the top shelf, right? Other essentials that needs to be in this bag would be to make sure you make copies of all important papers. It makes me think of John on how they didn't have anything at all because everything caught on fire. Even if an event of a house fire, those things should be in a fireproof safe. You can go buy those at Walmart or Amazon. A fireproof safe will help you in the event of a fire, but you also want to have these things backed up. I know in my previous episodes, I talked about scanning them in and having them in the cloud, but you want to also have the actual physical copies, right? And so you can copy them and put them in a waterproof folder or a sealed bag inside the duffel. Now, the waterproof folder or the sealed bags, where can you get them from? Amazon. I know this ain't no plug for Amazon. I'm not paid by Amazon, but that is my place. So bad so that the delivery guys, they know me. They know who I am. Hey, how you doing? Hey, no boxes today? Not today. No prom today. So the things that you want to copy is your power of attorney, your living will and trust, a list of all the banking information you may need, pensions, retirement, those type of information, insurance information, a copies of your medical cards for your person that you're caregiving for, the driver license for you and everyone else's, as well as passports. You also want to have in this bag a fully charged power bank, the battery, and extra phone cords to make you be able to charge up your devices. My family was in a situation and we had no chargers. We had no chargers. We had no tissue to use the restroom. So I now carry those things in my purse. I have an extra cord. I have an extra plug-in charger. I've purchased a power bank. You should try to get the power banks that has solar panel. I mean, the solar battery. So that way, in the event you can't get to any electricity to charge your actual power bank that will charge your devices, you can at least charge it while you're sitting in the car. You can, of course, get those from Amazon or Best Buy, Walmart, Target. All of those places have them. And you want to make sure that it's charged. So it was an incident in my life where I actually had a power bank, but it wasn't charged. I wasn't charging it like that. I thought it held the charge. So now I purchased the one that has the solar backing on it just to make sure that if I didn't charge it, I forgot to charge it, I at least can charge devices. In Georgia, our weather is crazy all the time, so you kind of have to be ready. So I it's just something that I purchased just to make sure. You also want to have in this bag hand sanitizer, soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, lotion, anything else needed for bath essentials. If your loved one has dentures, the denture cream, the actual little dish to clean them, and the little cleaner tablets for if your loved one has dentures. You also want to, if you're a germaphobe like myself, you want to make sure you have a washcloth and a dry towel, shower shoes, bleach wipe, and Lysol spray. These are all these things that's in this bag is for if you have to go to a hotel for a while or a period of time, you at least have the things that you need to survive, right? And of course, you want to grab your tablet or your laptop. Yes, these things can be replaced, but they have your life on it. Let's be real. Like everything is on there. And of course, you're going to grab your phone on your way out. It doesn't hurt to prepare these bags for yourself as well, yourself and your children. So as of now, I'm building the bags for me and my kid. The most important thing was to get my mom's bag because she had so many essentials that she needed. It was more important to get her stuff first. But you can build this over time. And of course, the clothes that you're putting on there, they're seasonal. So you will swap them out in the winter and you will swap them for the summer. Okay. And you just want to have them to hold you until services can get to you, right? Okay, and then you're going to create another small bag. Another small bag is going to have snacks, crackers, ready to eat canned foods like tuna fish or sardines, a manual can opener, because if there's no electricity, you can't open them cans, right? Miniature bottles of water because you don't want to have too many bottles of water because it's going to take up the space of the bag. But you want to have enough water to be able to hold you guys until you can get somewhere where you can buy some water, right? Or Gatorade. You want to also have non perishable items and things that can hold you until you can get to food and water. Okay. Small solar panel radio for news updates. It has to have an antenna on the radio so you can pick up signal. If you don't have the solar panel radio, because they are a little expensive, Amazon, Best Buy, Target, or Walmart, you can also use a battery operated radio, but make sure it has an antenna on it. And you want to pack batteries for it because I would hate for you to have the radio with no batteries. So make sure you have the batteries packed as well and that they have a long shelf life because we don't want them to be expired either. Also in this bag, this smaller bag, you have candles, a lighter stick, the lighter's torch stick, or a lighter or matches, some flares in case your car breaks down or something like that, a pocket knife in case you need to cut something, scissors in case you need to cut something, a first aid kit, hand warmers in case the temperature is cold, at least you guys can be warm, and a blanket and a flashlight, and the batteries for the flashlight, of course. These blanket and the hand warmers are just in case you're in a cold area or you've gotten wet or etc. and you need to warm up because we don't want hypothermia setting in either, right? That's a whole nother set of problems. I like to call this bag a buy me some time bag, right? This is the bag that's going to help you hold you some time until FEMA can help you, until the Red Cross can help you, or any other organization that offers aid to people in natural disasters. You need a bag that can just hold you off. We can munch on these crackers, we can munch on these chips, we can do on something until we're waiting for aid, right? On our way to the hotel, driving, or whatever. You also need to have a gas can, right? In the event that your car breaks down or anything like that, you want to be able to get some gas and go walk back to your car and fill up your car in the event that happens. I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and don't have it, right? Now, keep in mind that you have to check expirations dates on all of these things, right? I know when I went to my mother's home to clean her home out, she had stuff in there where it was the McCormick's first bottle, Like it was crazy. I had to call my cousins and say, hey, do your mom have expired stuff in her refrigerator or her cabinet? That lazy Susan had packed with stuff that was expired and broken down. No, you can't use these seasonings forever. Same thing with tuna. You cannot use that tuna forever, those sardines forever. So make sure you do check your your non-perishable items to make sure that they are not expired, because of course you cannot eat them if they're expired. So they'll be no good to you. You was just carrying them around. If you're going to use the things that's in your pantry or your actual bathroom, check the expiration, because 9 times 10 we had it for a minute. So just check the expiration. Expiration dates need to also be checked on batteries because they go bad, the flares, and your water. Water has expiration on it too, guys. It just can't sit there forever. So make sure you switching these things out in the bag. If you're using the things that were already in your home to make this bag and create this bag, make sure that you look at the expiration dates, have the dates that are pushed out far enough, and just check them periodically. Switch the old out, put in new. If it's getting close to expiration date, take it out and eat it. If it's sardines or tuna fish or beans or whatever, use it for your household and put in the new ones that you just purchased. Mainly the shelf life is a year or two. So you always want to push those out, and you also want to check them every season. You want to make sure you know exactly where the bag is, and you want to just make sure the stuff is refilled and you checking it, right? Things also in the first aid kit goes expired, guys. So that Neosporin, that don't last forever. Them alcohol pads, it don't last for everything either. The batteries, I mean, the Band-Aids, they last, the gauze last, but the actual products, the Tylenol and all that, it has expiration date on it, guys. So please just make sure you check it. Okay, as well as her medications. So check that too. Most of these storms lately, the drastic storms are knocking out the actual power grids, right? And they're knocking out electricity, and you can't have electricity for a long time. So that's why we definitely need to make sure we have the flashlights and the candles with the matches. But you also, things that you may not think about is cash. Because if the electricity down, you cannot use your debit and credit card. And I know I'm guilty of it myself. I don't have much cash on hand. I am doing better. I got the little book that's I think it's the 100-day challenge and 100 challenge. And it's like a little book, and it has little slots in it. And whatever numbers on the outside of that slot is the amount of money you're supposed to put in there. When you fill up the book, you should have $5,000. So that's the thing I'm doing to make sure I have cash on hand, because I am a victim of a swipe. I have the wrist. I have the swipe wrist. So, but in an event of emergency, you cannot use your debit or credit. I'm from Philadelphia, and I remember when the grid went down in New York, Philadelphia, and other states, the whole grid went down. Not sure if it was terrorists or not, but the whole thing went down. We couldn't use the ATMs. We couldn't go to the grocery store. We couldn't do anything. The only thing that was working was cash. So ever since then, I try my best to keep cash on hand. But with these natural disasters happening so frequently, you definitely want some cash on hand, $200-300, something that can hold you until you can get to an area that has ATM access, right? So this is just for in a pinch. You want to make sure you have emergency cash. Storing it somewhere safe in your home. They have like different canisters that look like something else, but it holds money, or invisible shelves and all types of things that helps you keep it safe. Don't put it under your mattress. If it's a robbery, that's the first place they look. So just make sure you have it in a safe place where you can easily get to it in event of emergency. Um, or you can actually have it in the bottom of your emergency bag. Just make sure you have access to some cash in your home. Now, another piece of this is if your loved one is bound to a wheelchair like mine's or a hospital bed. Making provisions for them in the event of emergency is a must. Evacuating may be necessary if you're in the eye of a storm, and I understand that evacuating is not cheap. For you to leave and you just paid your rent or your mortgage, and then you have to up and go and stay in a hotel, that is not the most cost effective thing. And I totally understand that. And that's why we're preparing way before now. So you're putting a little bit of your cash from your checks aside, little extra bonuses. You're getting 100 envelope challenge to help you get to the $5,000 in your home. Anything that's going to make sure you have access to those things in an event that you have to evacuate. Like I said, if your person is wheelchair bound or hospital bound, you will definitely want to get them out, because Trying to get them out in a flooded home, it may be a very impossible task, right? And no one wants unnecessary fatality, as well as flood waters are contaminated with sewage and dead animals and all kinds of things. So before it even gets to that point, just evacuate your loved one, right? Okay, and you're going to go somewhere safe. You're going to go somewhere that does not have the storm in its path, does not have a flooding issue or anything like that. So just simply preparing will 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 help save you in the long run. You won't be stressed out about it. You won't be trying to find where we need to go. Making plans prior to will simply be one less thing off your plate. Action plans are always good. You will use this, of course, for natural disasters, fires, flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, and granted, tornadoes pop up out of nowhere. And with a tornado, it's a little bit different. You have to go to the bathroom, get in the tub, secure to the lowest point, all of those things. But if your person's in a wheelchair, you need to get them to the lowest point. And that may not be the easiest thing to do. So the best thing may be to lift them and put them in the tub. So just making a plan so you're not in crisis mode trying to make decisions that may cost you your life or cost your loved ones their lives when you can just plan before. So we're going to go ahead and grab our bag and we're going to build our bag. And keep in mind, these things can be done over time. You don't have to do them all right now. We can actually build them as we go. We can order the bag on Amazon, get it in 2 days, and little by little put things in there. Go to um, the travel section of Walmart or Target and get the small toothbrush and get the small toothpaste and start adding they have a little tiny, uh, what's it called? The kit. They have the first aid kit. They have a travel size. You can start out with all travel size items. This is a bag to just buy you time. So no, you don't have to have the huge things. Or you can buy the actual containers, that's empty containers that they sell in Walmart or Target, and fill them up with lotion and soap and toothpaste and just label them. That may be more cost effective. But when you label them, make sure you put the expiration date on it so we know how long you've had this in this bottle. This stuff should not be turning green, guys. So we definitely want to make sure we put that label on if it's more cost effective to do it that way. We're going to add clothes to them and we're going to take our time and just build the bag up. By next season, you should be built and ready to go. If we're doing little by little, because putting this bag together is not cheap. Most of the things you will have, of course, you will use 2 or 3 outfits to buy you some time, underwear, socks. And like I said, it does not hurt to do this for your own family as well. So then that way, if it goes left, everyone has things that they need, opposed to having to try to find a store to take debit or credit and purchase clothes and underwear and stuff like that, because you have to pay for shelter at that point. Unless you're with the Red Cross or Salvation Army. Of course, these are organizations that help you, but nonetheless, you still want items that you normally would have had, right? So we're going to build this out over time. We're going to add our bags little by little. I know sometimes getting extra medication is not the easiest, but if you have extra medication on hand, because your person left the assisted living or left the hospital, they normally discharge those items, those medications with you. Those are your backup medicines, right? Because you're going to need that in the event of an emergency. Or what you can do as well, I have a actual plastic shoebox case that is on my bar that has all of her medicines in it. So in the event that I didn't have extra, I would just grab that whole shoebox. In the event of emergency, I would grab the whole shoebox because then I have all her medications. They're in that one place. I know exactly where they are, and I can ensure that at least for however many days we're in a shelter or a hotel, we will have all the medication she needs to be in good health, right? So, with that being said, I appreciate you giving me 30 minutes or less on this good 30 minutes or less on this Good Friday. I appreciate your time. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe because it is free. It is free, guys. Make sure you share with your friends and family because that's not only that I'm passionate about, this may be something that may affect someone sooner than later. And so make sure you do that. Thank you, Cantrell. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for the love. Next week's episode is managing the debt as a caregiver. So not only do you have to manage your debt that you already had going because your life was interrupted, now you're a caregiver. Their bills did not stop. So I'm going to teach you on how to balance the two. And especially if you have a child, because not only am I balancing her debt, I'm balancing my debt with my student loans. And now I have a kid that's about to go to college. So I'm about to be balancing that debt. So I'm going to be here teaching you how to manage through that, how to deal with that, because debt is already stressful. And putting extra people debt on top of that is a whole nother beast. So thank you so much. I hope I see you next week. And you have a wonderful weekend. Be safe and get your bags ready. Be ready because it may go left, and at least you have a bag near the door, in the laundry room, on your way out the garage, wherever you store it, an easy to grab place, and you know all the stuff in there. And like I said, we can build it over time. We don't need to do it all today, but we do need to get it done. Bye, guys. Your favorite bestie is signing out. Have a good weekend.